Parataxe Digital.
Parataxe Symposium Nummer 17, also seit 9 Jahren gibt es diese Veranstaltungsreihe schon. Mein Name ist Martin Jankowski, die Berliner Literarische Aktion organisiert diese Reihe und wir haben heute unser drittes Panel. And now to something completely different, another language. The next panel will be held in English language only for some reasons, especially because it's a very cool panel. And they will talk about trends and scene in Berlin and from Berlin. And that's why they have also chosen this very cool title, METAberlin, which is in a way international, cool and Greek at the same time. And now I hand over the mic and the moderation to our host of this panel, to Dimitra Kyranoudi from Deutsche Welle Griechenland.
I don't know if we are cool, but we are at least young, bold, and ready to talk about literature and Berlin. So thank you very much, Martin and Angela, for the invitation. It's an honor and pleasure to be here. I'm Dimitra Kyranoudi. I am the director of the Greek department of Deutsche Welle. I'm a political correspondent based in the German capital, focusing mainly on federal politics, government and parliamentary affairs, lately defense matters. I don't know if this has to do with METAberlin and literature a lot, or maybe it has to do with all of this as well, because in the end everything is related to politics. And I'm also a very disciplined reader, so that's why I'm really thrilled and happy to join you today in this event. So let's start with our writers that are here today with us. So Maria Constanti, welcome on stage. So I have some notes about you that I think are important for us to know. So you are a Cypriot-based, born artist, poet, researcher. The last 2 years you live in Berlin, and your first poetry collection, Ilemonia Tis Ruth, has also been translated in English, or part of it?
No.
Not yet. But you have some extra pieces translated in English, maybe, for us.
Mm-hmm.
And in February in February this year, your first English language poetry collection has been out, Holy Transmemberings, and you focus also in language, myth, body, and soul, I would say. So how would you describe yourself and your work in Berlin in a few words?
In a few words. So yes, I moved in Berlin in 2023. I was living in Athens the last 10 years, and I came in Berlin because I was since 2019 I was attending a course in Berlin, physical theater school, and after I completed my studies, my professor invited me to come here and teach in this school. So yeah, since 2023 I'm here, just 2 years in Berlin, very new. Yes, and I wrote 2 poetry collections, Ilemonia Tis Ruth, which was written in Greek, and Holy Transmemberings, which was written in English. I write in both languages. And both collections are written in Berlin between 2020 and 2021 during COVID. Yeah.
Okay, we will come back to you in more depth and detail. So then we have today Vivian Stergiou coming from Athens in Berlin. She studied law in Athens and Utrecht. You were a research fellow also in Germany. You have dived into the relation between law and economics. And at the same time, you are a writer. You represent, let's say, the new generation of writers in Greece. Wet Blue and Skin are your first two works. And you have also Iphigenia, Pray, which is also your latest work, also presented at the Athens and Epidaurus Festival. So, Vivian, happy to have you here. So, what brings you in Berlin?
I don't really know why I come here. It's a gloomy city, I think. Maybe that's why I like it. So mostly personal reasons, and because that's the thing to do when you do a law PhD, you go to Germany. It's Rechtswissenschaft, so you have to go to Germany. But personal and family reasons have been the main reason why I come and go for the last many years, I would say. I write only in the Greek language. Both my short stories collections, Derma in Greek and Blegro, have been written in Greek. Some of the stories of Derma take place in Berlin and have to do with the lives of expats in Europe, mostly poor South Europeans going to richer countries. Which is how I felt in the Netherlands and in Berlin Mitte. I always feel poor. You're supposed to laugh when I say this stuff. And then I got commissioned by the Epidaurus Festival to write a monologue, Iphigenia Pray. This was 2 years ago. It has been translated into English language by Karen Emmerich. And I came here to write it because I felt that having a distance from Greece would help me be true and honest. And, I thought it would make me more courageous. Then I went to Epidaurus to see the play, and I was like, girl, you could be a little bit more chill. Because it was very political, about femicides and about... about being a woman nowadays, about being female. So I mostly use Berlin to feel free, to put a distance between myself and Greece, and to keep this outsider gaze that I need in order to be productive. Which I no longer have so much in Athens. I don't feel like an outsider anymore. I'm not that young, despite the very kind words of Martin and then Dimitra. So it's very important for me to feel fresh and to always make my relationship with the cities new. And that's how I got trapped into a situation where I come and go. I think it really puts me in a situation of freedom to be here and to not know so many people here. I have some friends, I shouldn't be so rude because they also came. So. But that's mostly how I see it, as a space of where I have a distance from my quote-unquote real life, because I also write for a newspaper, as you know.
This is what I would like to.
Yeah, like a super mainstream Greek newspaper. So it's very good to be here, where nobody really. Well, I'm not Justin Bieber, so. but still, it's very good to be somewhere else.
two facts. We also discovered that we three are somehow colleagues because Vivian also works as a columnist at Kathimerini newspaper, and Maria...
As a communist, you said, or a columnist?
Columnist.
Okay.
Communist is not bad as well. And Maria Constanti used to work as well at the Politis newspaper in Cyprus. So yes, we get to know, as we get to know each other, we also discover that we have a lot of things in common. And by the way, Vivian, my father gave me your book, Wet Blue, as a present back some years ago, and he told me, look, you are not the only one who abandoned law in order to follow another career. So you were for me like, a reference and an inspiration as well, that there is life after law school. Yes. So, and moving on to, changing perspectives and careers, Anastasia Patsouri or AnarSea. AnarSea is also a performer, poet, a writer, but also a researcher and economist coming from Athens and based in Berlin. She's also a mentor for startups. You are also an initiator of, a co-founder of the Pleiades poetry collective, Collectiva. And you have also an amazing biography. So how would you describe yourself? I think you would, describe yourself better than I do.
Thank you very much for the invitation to be here among young poets and writers. How I could describe myself. I feel I'm learning to be a poet. I think to bear the title of a poet is very heavy, and you never achieve it. It's a lifetime goal, a lifetime deliberation, let's say. So regardless, the 3 books that I wrote, and I'm very happy about them, I still continue to learn every day new things. I consider myself to be a sustainable economist. This is also one of the reasons why I came to Berlin. 10 years ago, amidst the economic recession in Greece, it was impossible to work with newly born firms called startups. And the topic of sustainability was not in the agenda of Greece. We had more serious problems to survive, as you all know. So I left Greece and I came to Berlin to do my dream job. And then I had the chance to start a PhD at the Technical University, so transfer my knowledge from the praxis to the theory. Maybe I did it vice versa. I have these 3 pillars: startups in the praxis, startups in the research, and poetry.
Mm-hmm. And talking about poetry, and already 3 works in poetry, Enkinisi, The Visionaries, and most recently Oniropoli. So, talking about Berlin scenes and trends, this is supposed to be the topic of this panel. We had all of us actually yesterday a first discussion, and we were all wondering what is this actually panel about? What is a scene? What is a trend? And starting with you, Anastasia, because you're already many years in Berlin, you're also an initiator of a very active artistic cultural life. How would you describe the term scene? And what are, the major scenes nowadays in Berlin, in your field?
Yes, so I would describe the scene as very diverse. Mm-hmm. And it entails different collectives and subcultures. I wouldn't say it's unanimous or it's very different. based on where you live and what are your references. For example, together with Sandy, that is together in the audience as well with Lisa, we run Pleiades, a poetry collective, and we basically do events in Neukölln. So I'm not sure if people from other districts can know us. There are different open mics in every district that sometimes compete with each other even. I was very glad to be part of Berlin Spoken Word, another community. And also once in the Open Poetry Slam of Greece, which, by the way, tonight is the finals, the European finals in Berlin of Poetry Slam. So there's a lot of different actors in the scene. But yes, I wouldn't say it's a unanimous scene. It's very diverse, depending of your references.
Mm-hmm. And Maria, you're also very active the last 2 years in the field of poetry, performance, but also embodied arts. Would you like to share with us what you actually do in Berlin in this field? What is the major areas of your interest?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm very active in poetry in Berlin. I feel that I'm very young in Berlin. I'm almost just 2 years. I'm more active in I work in this physical theater school where I facilitate a space of embodied writing. And it's a school that is based on expressive arts and depth psychology and art practice as research. So I'm more focused there the last 2 years in like my bubble in trying to figure out my practice as a facilitator. Well, both my poetry collections were written in Berlin between 2020 and 2021 during COVID time. So, it was a time of isolation, personal grief also, because I was. It was a time where I was losing my father, and the time of my writing of my collections were during that time. And
so there is a strong personal as well association between your poetry and Berlin. It is not just the city; it's the city through your own
it was like a
experience,
a place of rapture for me, a place of opening, rapture, transformation, and really
And Vivian, you told us that there is a kind of distance between you and Berlin, and this distance is a kind of inspiration in a way also for you. What is how has Berlin has inspired your works in terms of topics? Characters, ideas.
I have written various short stories that take place in Germany. They are in Derma, in my second short stories collection. And I think it's, as I said before, it's a buffer zone for me. It's a place where I can observe. And because I don't write poetry, I write short stories. I used to write, now I have written a novel. But I try to use everyday life, so observation is very important for me. So that's how Berlin has entered my writing.
And talking about observation, what are the corners, things?
Everyday people like. Actually, I was very interested in how superficial the lives of many people in Berlin used to seem to me, because, as I said before, there's a class privilege if you live a very low-key, relaxed life in Berlin Mitte. At least that's how I see it. So it was very fun. It was very interesting for me to see people that are artists and they don't have to actually sell their art to live, or people who dress like artists but do a job for a US firm, remote always, or people who have their own house, because I am very jealous of the people who have private property. So I used to sit in cafes in Friedrichshain or around here, or in Neukölln, everywhere, and observe.
Mm-hmm. And you, Anastasia?
Would you like to say the question again?
How has Berlin influenced your work, your poetry, in terms of topics, places, people, ideas?
So initially, I would agree that Berlin offers freedom in the head, and if I can say also in the heart, in the sense of that it allows you the space of non-judgment, at least I experience it as such, and also of anonymity. In Greece, not that we are known, but there's a lot of gossip into how one's, yes, and this is very annoying, and there's a lot of judgment on how you do things, how you express yourself. And suddenly you arrive in Berlin and everything you do and whoever you are is accepted. Of course, there are superficial also personas that you meet, but which is interesting as well. But you just think they're clowns and you surpass them. Like you don't really focus on them, I would say. But yes, Berlin is a big inspiration, especially the people you meet. It's a melting pot from different cultures. I have friends from all over the world. I collaborate with people that have different stories, different backgrounds, and this is not something you could see in Greece. It's changing also. The Athenian scene is changing. A lot of expats moved there after COVID and during COVID. More privileged ones, I would say. But yeah, Berlin is a great inspiration for poetry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Berlin is always has been always associated with experimentation. You mentioned this freedom of expression, freedom in their heart and minds. But at the same time, Berlin is a city which is massively challenged by economic and political pressure. How does this hard reality affect you as a writer, as an artist, and if you observe the changes from Athens? Vivian.
Okay, yeah. I think both Berlin and Athens are changing rapidly, and I think the accommodation crisis is going to influence the kind of art that we produce. For example, to produce a long-form work, like a theatrical play that is really long, or a novel, one needs lots of time, and this means that one is freed from various powers exercised upon them. Mm-hmm. So for me, this is a point of concern, I would say, for both Berlin and Athens. It happened to London, it happened to London in the 90s, and I think it's coming. It has already come here, and it's also coming to Athens. Seeing people, for example, producing too much autofiction, too much short form, which I have also done so far, okay? But because of the pressures, economic pressures.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for example, to write a 500 pages novel, you need to wake up and do this. And I am afraid that many people that used to live in these cities will not be able to do that anymore. Like to wake up and do their art work. And to link it also with politics, because I can't help doing otherwise. Mm-hmm. The rise of the far right and of the ultra-conservative right will not help, because they just cut money and funding for culture. So without funding, there is not so much culture. It's a scene for the privileged. Mm-hmm. And the rich people will do their art, which is fine and has been happening for centuries. but other people will not have access to the art world because it will be exclusive due to the funding situation. Funding for literature is horrible in Greece. Mm-hmm. And it's not gone so well in Germany as well, as I have heard. So I think this is, it will not show very fast, but in the long term, I think it will show. If you don't invest in culture, and if you let the housing crisis boom, mm-hmm. Then you will lose some outsiders, as I said at the beginning, some people who are not very well adjusted in the fabric of society. They will not be able to reach the mainstream. Mm-hmm. And I think that the mainstream loses when the scene is not diverse. We all lose if the scene is mostly occupied by people who have really solved all their economic problems just because they were born to the right place, the right time.
So, Vivian, if I understand correctly, you raised the issue of democratization of the art scenes.
Of democratization.
And the need for democratization, or the lack of democratization.
Yeah, or I just would like to raise the fact that, because I heard mm-hmm. also the previous talks, we tend to talk very theoretically. Sorry for the very Greek accent. Whereas I think, unapologetically Greek accent, okay. But I think we forget the material basis of producing a good novel, of producing a good piece for the theater. If you go to the theater and you see sometimes only one actress, it might be a choice, it might be because of lack of funding. So it's good to be a choice and not to be lack of funding. Mm-hmm. So we should go back to the material basis of producing literature and art, and actually demand investment in the art scene, because otherwise I believe it can't grow, or it grows but the people who really serve it have a tough life. And the question I want to pose is, what do you have to have a tough life if you are an artist, and have a very easy life if you're a banker? Mm-hmm. I don't see any reason why. I don't see a reason.
So I would like a comment from both of you. You both live in Berlin. You do experience this other side of the artistic creation. So yeah, I would like to have a comment from both of you. How open, how diverse, how democratic is in the end Berlin cultural scene, and what's going on with the funding issue as well? Anastasia, yeah.
I can talk from my own experience. 10 years ago, my rent price was half. So I could work part-time and then part-time do my art. However, this has changed in the last 10 years. So artists who came to Berlin because they could lead the lifestyle of an artist, meaning having a part-time job and then having 3-4 days to write this novel, mm-hmm. to produce this opera, to write poetry, to compose music, is a difficult reality. However, I want to give a positive note that it's still somehow possible. Yes, you have to move to Marzahn, maybe. It's not easier to live in Mitte anymore. There's no occupied house that has free rent for you anymore. Or if there is, it's difficult to get in, or it's harder conditions to get a flat if you don't have specific documents. We all know the bureaucracy that this country is flirting with. But I still believe you can still live the Berlin dream here. Compared to other cities like New York, Paris, the cost is unbearable to be an artist. In Athens, there is a small scene, but it's still a peripheral one. It's not so diverse and interesting as in Berlin. So I wanted to say that, yes, it's happening. I feel it under my skin. I pay double rent since I arrived in Berlin, and I have to work more and produce less than the art I love to do so. Mm-hmm. But I still believe you can meet the right people, build the right collectives, and throw up events, that matter and give space to all languages, all backgrounds.
And you, Maria,
Yeah, for
after
my
2
part,
years?
Yes, I mean, I came here knowing this reality. It's not that it was, I knew that this is a reality here. So, yeah, it's something that I know that it exists, and I try to navigate through this. Yeah.
So I would like to shift to another topic. Yes, Martin?
Please let me interfere for 20 seconds,
Yes.
because I just want to add an idea or a request to each of you. We just have running a campaign. It's a postcard campaign. It's called Deine Stimme für Literatur, Your Voice
Okay.
for Literature. And this is a postcard campaign to the mayor of Berlin. We want to ask him to fund the literature life of
Then?
Berlin. And I want to ask all of you, the writers and also the guests in the audience, before you leave this venue, please get a postcard, write a note to the mayor. It's already prepared. You just have to write, Parataxe is great, or something like that. And then we will collect it, and at the end of the month, the mayor of Berlin will get thousands of postcards. Please
Hopefully.
join our campaign.
So, join the campaign. And thank you, Martin, for your idea and encouragement to sign up. So I would like to shift the discussion to another topic. Berlin has become the last years also the home of many Greek and Cypriot Greek-speaking writers and artists in recent years. So what brings Greek-speaking writers in this city? And I would like also to have your opinion on the following aspect. Do you think that there is a Greek literary scene coexisting or growing up in Berlin? Anastasia?
Yes.
You're ready, I think, to reply.
I was born ready.
So, speaking about the Greek literature scene, I wouldn't say that it is established, but there are different seeds, like the Hellenische Gemeinschaft has its own poetry events. In Steglitz, there is Greek poets who participate with their Greek poetry and music in open mic events. Tonight there's a Greek participant in the European Poetry Slam finals. So there is people who drive things, but I wouldn't say that there's a Greek scene here. I don't know if you agree, ladies.
I think I agree. I don't know. But I can answer what drives people to come here. I think it's a super interesting place. It's still multicultural, and there's lots of stuff going on. And theatrically, it's very high. The level is very good. You can see great plays and really learn lots of stuff. And it's also a place where you actually really don't feel judged. As Anastasia said, that's very correct. I agree with that. And for me, also, when I was younger, it was a place where it was very okay to be queer, which was also important. It took me a while to say that, but you see, I reached the point. It was something like you felt very well to be gay here. So this also plays a role. Now Greece is also doing great steps in that direction. But I think also it attracts some people for this reason still in 2025.
2025, okay.
Yeah.
Maria?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what drives Greek-speaking.
You also write in English as well.
Yeah, I also write in English. The truth is that today is the first time that I'm in contact with Greek-speaking authors here, because, as I said, I feel that I'm quite new in Berlin. I'm just starting to come out of my bubble, because for me, Berlin was really like a space of refuge. So I don't know what drives Greek-speaking authors here. But yeah, I kind of resonate with what you said about a sense of freedom and openness.
And I would like to ask you, does when you write in Greek, or Greek as a choice, is this a kind of obstacle, or is it a chance, a bridge between different cultures and audiences, or something else? Writing in Greek right now, Vivian, maybe.
I write in the Greek language because it's a language I love, and I believe in translation. I think there should be great funding for these good people, translators, who bridge actually the different cultures. I don't believe it's my job to be attractive to I don't know what kind of audience. And I refuse to become the same with, I don't know, I would like not to be generic, not to try too hard to be Americanized or whatever is a trend every single century. So yeah, we come from a very small country and a very small language. But I really love this language, and I just think that the country should do more for the language. Nothing else. That's very simple stuff, I think. Pay translators to translate stuff into the German language, and the gap is bridged. That's very, very simple. It just includes some money.
Anastasia?
I feel expression through expression when I write in Greek. So I would say it's a bridge for myself to the world when I can express myself in English. But I also write in English, which has a totally different style, and it's very interesting to see a different version of myself in another language. The poetry that I write in English is summarized in small length, whereas in Greek it has a totally different nuance because it's my mother tongue. And I totally agree that the country should do way more for its writers when it comes to translation. I also believe in translation, but I find it really hard to transmit the full essence and the full meaning of poetry. I think it may be easier when you write theater or other types of texts, but with poetry there is something that you still cannot transmit when you translate. And this is the culture, the common sense that the poet is using and is playing with when a text is written, when a poem is written. But I guess we just need better money for translation. Yeah.
And Maria, how is it in Cyprus and Germany? Is the situation so gloomy and dark as it seems to be in Greece concerning funding and support?
Of translation.
In terms of translation, yeah.
In Germany, in relation to Germany.
In relation to
yes.
Germany, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
there's a long way to go.
Course, yeah. And your question was, why write in Greek?
Yes, it is a choice.
I mean, it's my mother tongue, so I write in Greek. And just coming here, being dislocated, let's say, it feels like there's another sense of awareness that comes of more like bodily, physical sensation of the language, I would say, that I discovered while being here and writing in Greek here. It becomes more, I don't know, more moist, I would say. Yeah. And I also write in English because I was also in my secondary education was in English, my primary education was in English, so it's the two languages. I play with the two languages. Like my first poetry collection, some of the poems were first written in English and then translated by me in Greek, and in my English-speaking poetry books. Some were written in Greek and then translated by me in English, so it feels very a natural flow for me. But yeah, being here, I feel that I dwell more into the moisture of my Greek words, and yeah.
So I have a last question, and then I think we'll have some time for you if you want to read some parts of your work. The last question would be, if Berlin was a character in a novel or in one of your stories, how would you describe it? Yeah.
It would be an extravaganza personality.
Yeah.
It would be, of course, queer. It would be polyamorous. and yeah, that's it. Extravaganza, queer, polyamorous persona.
Extravaganza.
Yeah.
For you, Vivian?
I agree. I would like to meet them. But also I think if I were a better writer, I could write a character that is also actually changing every time you're reading about this character, because I think that's how I feel about the city. Like, my perspective changes every time, to the extent where we were talking about that before. I don't know if there is a city or if it's just an idea of a city. And it's so personal every time, this connection between a city and a writer. And I mean, if you look at literature, you go to big cities, and the famous writers, for example, James Joyce in Dublin, they hated the city, which is very interesting. So I don't know, it would be a character that every time you read them, you change your view on them, because that's how I feel. Like a character where you could be like, great person, and then I will never talk to them again. So something like that, something like it.
And for you, Maria? You're laughing.
I'm not sure. It would be a creature that would live in raptures, like a creature that would like walk and then fall inside raptures. That's a place that's between time, between histories, between, yeah, I don't know, a creature in between.
A creature in between.
Yeah.
That being said, I think we can give now, some space for your poems to talk. So, yeah, Maria, maybe.
Okay. This is the vastness of a story once you swallow its pebbles and become the deep sea. This is gravity before the steps assimilate height. Walking the infinite dissections of the crossroads, scattered pieces of a sounding, soaring home. I am walking beneath, above, and below, over an outbursting horizon, and swallow soil and light. A garden melts in my mouth. This is where the sky is laid bare. A revealed light covers the naked clusters of unwritten seashores, perceives a dwelling. This is her island, drifting inconsolable over the foam of dawn. A childhood of an empty sky dissipates inside a dividing word, like a detachable sea current, carried within a name of, a thread of, a divided walled city of a hunger of, thirst of, this vast territory of form, impending as a prayer inside an ancient olive grove. The bedrock of word is an invocation in cruciform shape. Triangular breasts and pubis, swollen belly, high phallic neck, round raised face, extended arms and folding legs. Her silence opens a crevasse. A dolorous horse with a courage in the heart, a sword, and a fish tail.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Maria, for this beautiful, poetical gift, present. And Anastasia, you have also, I think, prepared something. AnarSea.
I'm missing the wig today, but
yes.
Yeah. I wrote this poem in English, and it's about Berlin. It's called Streets. Picking up flowers during rush hours, hustle and beauty, gardens, urban duty, bubbles tower, blow up power, keys to unlock, hearts never block, freedom to seek, divine sleek, coining the joy, virtue employ, traumas be flowers, bouquets of pain, darkness domain, colors of rain, till white spins it all, you whirling dervish, starting to cherish, lights slide out, rays of wisdom, this is your kingdom, purpose is freedom, act now in stilldom. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anastasia. And for Vivian, wet blue skin, and Iphigenia, we have to do also some,
I brought nothing because I don't like reading in public or meeting the audience.
But the reference,
and also the play has been translated into English, so you can find it if you go to Epidavros, or it would be a torture to read a play to a person. It would be like punishing them.
For those interested, I repeat, Iphigenia, pray, wet blue, and skin.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much for this first get to know conversation. Thank you again.
Thank you for the questions.
And I'm pretty sure that we're going to have the chance to dive into your works in detail in the future on other panels and forums. So we'll meet again. And now we haven't finished yet. Now it's time for some poetry and performance on stage by Jo Fakitsa. Welcome on stage. We are really happy to have you here today again. So, Jo was born in Athens, grew up in an artistic environment, an environment full of opera, music, art.
Yeah, right. Well said.
You're also inspired by opera. You're also a writer, poet, performer, composer. You compose also electronic music, as I read in my notes, Lumina Sector, various publications, literary publications in anthologies. And I would like also for your comment, since we are also almost 7 years in Berlin before the COVID pandemic.
Right.
What is Berlin for you, in a few words?
First of all, it's my honor to be here. And since it's the first time that we have a Greek, almost many of us are Greeks. And it's the first time for me I want the chance to speak a big Greek in a Greek public. And I would like to say it was always my dream in the Greek to say Καλησπέρα, καλώς ήρθατε. Να έχουμε μια όμορφη βραδιά.
Καλά τα είπες.
Potpourri. Berlin. Yeah, was was an apocalypse for me, as to find myself, to express myself as an intersex person, because in Greece, since my early childhood years, I have in school, in work, in many different areas of my life, bullying experienced, and yeah, it's not so, like they say, Greece is doing some movements forward, but it's not enough. Mm-hmm. Since we have a prime minister in a corrupted Greek government that says that there are two genders, and ignoring intersex persons like me, non-binary persons, and that shows the intentions of what the thing is really going. Apart from, yeah, let's show to the world that we are open, but the deep state is not open. No. And they are doing all those movements because the European Union said that. Without European Union, we will be Iran. And yeah, Berlin for me was an apocalypse to find myself, to express myself, to write a book, and yeah, to oppose to, through my existence, to say fuck Trump, fuck the Nazis of the AfD, fuck all those that are following them. Their names are Erdogan, Putin, Mitsotakis, all these crap politics that they are doing nothing only to do stress politics, and only that. They are not giving solutions to the real problems. They create problems.
Mm-hmm.
They are the
problem. We are part of the problems because we are not doing hard, a bit of percent to oppose them. I'm doing for my part all those years that the children have bullied me in school and other areas of my life. I mean, also to works, they have looked my CV and they have told, okay, you have some qualifications, but you know, we have to do like the Germans said, Widerstand. We have to react. Only to say that we have that we stay in our cycles and we're discussing it, that or putting our back to the problem, that makes the problem not to disappear. The problem stays behind our back. We have to get rid of it. So
thank you very, very much. Yeah. And this is where politics come together with art and literature. And thank you for being here today.
Yeah.
And sharing with us your thoughts and your
my existence.
Work. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do some poetry now. We have spoken different languages, German, Greek, a bit of Greek and English now. My book is under the name Nirvana Kind. It's written on German and it's published from the Verlag, the edition, the Verlag Der Neuen der Reiche, from Stefan Marciniak. He was also a moderator here. Let's start reading some of my experiences that I have lived in Greece, my thoughts, and yeah, who knows what else comes. Let's begin now with a bit more easier part of the book. The title is Weiße Linien. Erinnern im Nirvana meines frühen Seins an weiße Linien auf der Straße von Athen nach Hebia, umsäumt von hohen Pinien. Straßenlinien, die mir kein Kinderauge maß, die ganze Strecke lang immer aufs Neue. Vater am Leckrand sucht im Radio einen Sender. Für den Rauschen greift seine Kassette voll griechischer Lieder, singt und Mutti stimmt ein. Schließlich auch ich, obwohl die Sätze nicht verstehen kann, unbekannte Worte, die 80er Jahre. Ich rutsche tiefer in das Rücksitzpolster, starre nicht länger auf die unendlichen Linien. Orange Flaggen, Autobahnlichter, meine Augenlider sägen sich. Leiser seufzt das Radio, Italo-Disco, Popidole. Lieder in Atem ermüden werden mir nun Schlafgesang. Ich höre noch sacht meine Mütter flüstern. Der Jünger ist bereit zum Schlaf und Slummerreise. Vater lacht. Mutti dreht sich vergnügt zu mir. Meine Wippen flackern nun nicht mehr, schließen mich in den ersten Traum der Nacht. Gute Nacht, Autobahnlicht. Gute Nacht, Mutti. Die Schule. Ich hasse die Schule, weil sie der Grund ist, dass ich meine Freunde Janis und Artemis auf den Mund geküsst habe. Ich hasse die Schule, weil die anderen Kinder mich noch dämlich auslachen, mit den Fingern auf mich zeigen. Ich hasse die Schule, weil Elias und ein paar andere mich schlagen, sobald sie mich sehen. Ich hasse die Schule, weil ich von nun an immer Furcht fühle und die Lehrer nichts dagegen tun. Ich hasse die Schule, weil ein Kind auf meiner Geburtstagsparty den Becher mit dem zweiten Gebiss von meiner Oma gepickelt hat. Ich hasse die Schule, weil ein Kind mich als Mädchen ansprach. Ich hasse die Schule, weil ein anderes Kind mich als Jungen anrief. Ich hasse die Schule, weil ich keine Freunde habe, die mich nicht später verlassen werden. Ich hasse die Schule, weil mein Herz rasend klopft, bis meine Oma mich endlich abholt. Ja, und etwas jetzt ein bisschen mehr Griechisch. Die Griechen wissen das, worum es geht. Im Lauf des Gedichtes. Den Tisch ins Feuer werfen. Ostern. Ostern ist verwartet am Tisch. Die Tante bereitet das Essen in der Küche. Sie ist die Frau. Sie muss es tun. Der Onkel, ein konservativer Prolet, genießt sein Essen und glotzt mich an, ob ich meinen Teller leer esse oder nicht. Mensch, ich möchte den Tisch ins Feuer werfen. Er beurteilt alles. Er verurteilt Flüchtlinge, Schwule, Trans, Nachbarn, Tünke, Linke. Irgendwann alles, was er jenseits seiner Ästhetik gibt. Ich möchte den Tisch ins Feuer werfen. All dieses Stusch ständig bekräftigt mich und der Teller und mich. Dann ruft er die Tante, fragt, hey, mein Fräulein, ist die Speise noch fertig? Ich hasse ihn. Sein Reden, die Mentalität, seine Spielerei, Natur, Kirche, Gesellschaft, das Patriarchat, alles bestätigt dieser Scheißmann. Ich möchte dieses Feuer werfen, weil Mutti und Oma essen, ohne was zu sagen, obwohl ich weiß, was Oma über nicht denkt und nicht sagen kann und darf. Der Onkel war nicht da, als Oma ins Krankenhaus kam, in seinen letzten Momenten. Ich möchte dieses Feuer werfen und diesem Schwein seine Worte als Hauptgericht ins Maul stopfen. Er gafft immer noch auf mich und den Teller und mich. Ich bin bereit, was zu sagen. Beete das Essen, stehe auf und gehe Richtung Ausgang, als die Tante, die nach Speise bringt. Nehme meine Gacke, alle schauen sprachlos zu mir. Bis Oma fragt, gehst du los? Ich nicke mit einem letzten Blick auf den Tisch und meine Verwandten. Der Onkel gafft auf mich. Den Teller und die Tür. Die Tür, den Teller und mich. Ich gehe hinaus. bevor ich wirklich noch den Dienst ins Feuer werfe. Villa Malias. Villa Malias war, von die Leute, die nicht kennen, war ein besetztes Haus bis zu am Anfang 2000. Das war ein Haus der Kultur, es war ein Haus des freien Denkens und danach der Regierung, der konservativen Regierung von Samaras. In der Zeit zwischen der Krise und nach der Krise, ein paar Jahre, mit all dieser Geschichte mit Neonazis von Goldene Morgenroten, XVII, alle dieses gesehen, mit der Ermordung von Pavlos Fissas. Ich hatte damals die Ehre, auch das alles in dieser Villa Malias, diesem Gebäude hat so viel bedeutet auf meine Prägung als Mensch, als Empathie, als Kultur, als generell als Gestalt. Und ich habe dieses Gedicht auf Villa Malias gewidmet und ich hoffe, das wird etwas Ähnliches auch wieder in Griechenland. Wir brauchen das dringend. Villa Malias. Altes Haus, alte Tür, Wände mit Wörtern, Anarchie, die Freiheit, Poesie, Party, Punk, Techno, Rape, Gespräche, Politik, die Gestalt der Liebe, Ideal, Bakunin, Malatesta, Alkohol, Zigaretten, schwarze Wände, Subkultur, Gedanken ohne Ruhe, die durch das Blut fließen. Ich lebe das erste Mal, genieße. Sichere Plätze, wo alle Menschen Körperidentitäten gemeinsam sich verlieben und lieben. Ich liebe das erste Mal, erkenne meine Sexualität gegen jede Autorität, gegen Macht, die den Willen der Menschen brechen will. Ich spüre das erste Mal Gemeinschaft und ihre Bedeutung, wie man mit Menschen hilft. Ich bin immer da und bleibe, auch wenn die Scheißfaschisten sich jetzt erheben und die Musik nicht mehr spielt, der Fluss der Freiheit austrocknen, doch der Durst bleibt immer da. Ich sehe das letzte Mal, wie das Leben einmal gestimmt hat. Kostas, meine erste Liebe. Braun-schwarz dein Haar, blassbraune Augen. So erinnere ich dich, als wir uns das erste Mal sahen. Meine Wünsche ähneln deinen. Wir können reden, ich höre die gleiche Musik. Naja, ich höre sie, weil du sie magst. Comic-Heldenfiguren verzieren deine Hemden. Die will ich nun auch auf meinen... Du gefällst Mädchen, das versuche ich auch. Wir lieben die gleichen Videospiele. Spielen Stunde um Stunde, die wie Sekunden verlaufen. Seltsam. Warum möchte ich überhaupt immer spielen, was du auch willst? Warum fühle ich mich glücklich, wenn ich bei dir bin? Warum mit dir die Zeit zerreißen und für ewig zusammenbleiben? Warum weine ich, wenn du fort bist? Bitte meine Mutti, mich zu dir zu bringen, und wenn das unterbleibt, warum fühle ich mich so traurig? Ist das ein Zeichen der Liebe? Ich kann die Nacht nicht vergessen, in der wir zweisam auf deinem Bett eingeschlafen waren. Unsere Mütter waren auf einer Party und wir beide alleine. Dein Körper lag das erste Mal ein Stück an meinem Berühren. Ja, das ist Liebe. Und in Liebe kann ich endlich ruhig schlafen. Piano. Ich spiele gerne Piano in unserem Wohnzimmer. Ich spiele gerne und erschaffe meine eigenen Kompositionen. Ich spiele gern laut, bis die Nachbarn die Wände schlagen und sich beschweren. Ich spiele nach der Schule und übe fast den ganzen Tag. Ich spiele, aber die Wände schlagen zurück. Ich spiele, doch die Kannibalen neben uns malträtieren mich und die Musik. Immer stärker, lauter als meine Komposition. Ich spiele. Meine Eltern ärgern sich. Ich bin traurig. Ich spiele nicht mehr. Das Piano ist fort. Verkauft. Die Musik schweigt. Die Kannibalen sind zufrieden. Anarchie. Kinder sind wie Anarchisten, genau wie kleine Katzen. Sie folgen aus ihrer Natur heraus keinen menschlichen Regeln, handeln nach Instinkt und ihren Gefühlen, ohne richtig oder falsch. Anders als Erwachsene, in deren seltsame Welt immer kompromissbereit, aufgestellten Regeln folgen. Jedoch, warum sollen Kinder folgsam sein? Warum ich? Warum einen Lächeln Grenzen setzen? Zeit von meinem Spielen stellen? Warum soll ich sorgsam meine Gefühle abwägen, an ihren sparen? Warum ich kleide nach bestimmten Gelegenheiten? Warum anderen Theater vorspielen, um Akzeptanz und neue Freude zu erregen? Warum meine Augen Neigungen unterdrücken, um nicht anzuecken? Warum meine Freunde verraten, nur um bei anderen Interesse zu wecken? Warum mich eingrenzen? Warum nicht ganze Tage oder Wochen draußen im Park, im Wald, am Meer, überall toben, baden, spielen? Ich mag sie nicht, die Erwachsenenwelt. Ich bleibe immer ein Kind. Do we have time for a bit more?
For a last one, yeah, we have.
One more.
One more.
Okay. So I have to be, yeah. To be careful for my choice. So, Kirche. Der Lehrer sprach, heute gehen wir in die Kirche. Ich mag nicht, weil mir der Geruch zu streng und schwer die Nase zieht, der eigentlich von alten Frauen stammt, die übelriechende Parfüms tragen. Missmütig ruft der Lehrer. Er soll in die Kirche ruhig sein und glauben. Gott sieht uns von ganz oben. Ja, denke ich. Er sieht uns von oben, aber sicherlich mag er dich nicht, Herr Lehrer. Er ist auch nicht ruhig, redet laut weiter, wie wir uns verhalten sollen. Wer Ingebeure verbreitet, bekommt eine Strafe und Schläge von mir. Dann mag Gott dich ganz sicher nicht, Herr Lehrer. Die Pfaffen sagen, Gott ist Liebe. Aber du, Herr Lehrer, und auch manche der Pfaffen lieben mich nicht so, wie ich bin. Du sagst, Gott ist Frieden. Drohst du aber mit Strafen und Schlägen, wenn wir nicht den Befehlen folgen. Du sagst, Gott sieht alles, auch wenn deine zittrigen Hände zwischen meinen Beinen liegen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mary Jo. I noted down something. Ich hasse die Schule, weil ich keine Freunde habe. Das sagt viel über Griechenland. Thank you very much again. Thank you, Anastasia, Vivian, Maria.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best. Take care and see you soon again. Thank you, Martin and Angela.
Parataxe digital.